Greetings, future J Stu. So these last few weeks have been full of excitement and adventure. So being Halloween, I dressed up as Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. I even had a box of Scooby Snacks which I carried around with me and then proceeded to lose. But while I did have it, I went around saying, "Zoinks! Scoobs, we're all out of Scooby Snacks!" But also, I think there was a special ingredient in those Scooby Snacks. So earlier in the week, I went over to some of my friends' house to make kombucha. However, the moment I walked through the door, the girls were like, "John, can you do us 2 favors?" And I just started laughing at them. It was great. So apparently, they had been using the sprayer for their kitchen faucet, and when they were using it, the little lever that stops the water flow got stuck and broken, and then no water was coming out of their faucet at all. So after spending some time pulling it all apart and getting to the part with the flap, I realized that I couldn't even get to the flap because it was contained in this little unit. So it turns out they just have to get a new one, which is okay because I had fun anyways. The second thing that they needed me to do was they took me to a furnace room which had a mouse cot in it. So that was a little exciting. It was still alive, and it was a little sad. Anyways, we eventually get to making the kombucha, which was great. When you're making kombucha, you have to brew up a bunch of tea because kombucha is just fermented tea, essentially, which brewed tea is hot, and you have to cool it down to room temperature. Unfortunately, we did not have a cooling coil, but I gotta use my physics schooling, which was a plus. So we filled up the bathtub with really cold water and moved the metal pot with the tea in it back and forth inside of it. And we did that until the heat in the tea transferred out into the colder water, equalizing the temperatures, which brought our tea down to room temperature pretty quickly. Well, the next step is to add the kombucha mother, or the SCOBY. So SCOBY stands for Symbiotic Colony of Bacteria and Yeast, which, to be honest, looks a lot like a scary creature or some sort of weird mushroom thing. And apparently all it's going to take is about 10 to 15 days to finish. And apparently during that time, a SCOBY will form on the surface of the tea. So I'm really excited. Well, this past weekend, an old friend and her family came up here from southern Missouri, and we got together for dinner and then saw the Rams game, which was really fun even though sports are not my favorite pastime. We had a really great time talking about life, goofing around, and catching up and such. Also, I had never been in a dome stadium before, so that was freaking sweet. So other random things that have recently happened: I started classes again, teaching a friend how to drive stick, and getting a typewriter type letter from a friend of mine. She also sent this really cool button with it. As always, thank you for watching. Click on Gizmo to subscribe and leave your comments below. If you have any idea on what you would enjoy seeing me do or talk about in these videos, leave a comment down below.